UFC 321 is finally here. This card is highly anticipated for multiple reasons. One of them, we finally get Aspinall back. It's been over a year since we've seen him last fight. And also, we finally get another heavyweight champ finally defending his title. It's been a while since that happened. Yes, Aspinall didn't get it authentically, the belt, but that's not Aspinall's fault at all. That's not his fault. But I want to, before we even get to that, I want to go back to my Canada picks, my RDR versus Ben Allen picks. I got 6 and 7 or 6 out of 13 picks right. I thought I did bad. Looking back at it, seeing other MMA channels, results, I did actually very good. So I take that back. I did pretty good on picks on the Canada card. So hopefully I do much better on this card. But anyways, yeah, let's go back to this card. First fight of the night. Well, I don't know if the sequence is correct, but anyways, on the ESPN website, lightweight Nasrat Haqparast versus Klein Salkilld. This is a pretty good fight. First of all, Haqparast is on a winning streak. He last lost to Dan Hooker and Bobby Green, and then from then he improved a lot since then. His boxing is looking very good, very slick. His tool bag and his boxing skill set is looking very nice. He has uppercuts, left hooks, straight. I mean, he's very good at boxing. Either way, he's very good at boxing, and he's a southpaw boxer. So that does result in a bit of a issue for orthodox fighters. Klein Salkilld, he is more of a well-rounded MMA fighter. Basically, his striking is kind of but his grappling is very good. And Haqparast was getting out wrestled by Dan Hooker in his fight. So if you're getting out wrestled by Dan Hooker, that is not a good thing in general. So that's not looking very good for Haqparast. And also in his last fight, he went for a takedown, pushed his opponent up against the cage. I forgot who was fighting, and easily got reversed. So yeah, I don't think Haqparast, his grappling is looking very questionable basically. And Klein Salkilld, his grappling is very good. His striking is kind of but he does a very good job at mixing those two together. And I think that's gonna be a very big issue against Haqparast, because Haqparast loves to box only. In his winning streak, he's only really been boxing, and he's been outboxing his opponents. If you're going to have someone in front of him that's going to be taking him down and mixing in the grappling and the striking, that's going to disrupt his boxing flow a lot. So I really do think Salkilld is going to get it done. Salkilld, he's 2-0 in the UFC. He low-key is 1-0 in the UFC because that Anshul Jubi fight, come on, bro. They could have even given him some random hobo. He would have been a tougher fight for Salkilld. But anyways, Salkilld he's pretty good. And he's going to, stylistically, this is gonna be a big issue against Haqparast. I don't see Haqparast defending Salkild's takedowns at all. And I got Salkild's second round submission actually. So I got second round submission for Salkilld for the first fight. I think this is the first fight. But anyways, next up, women's strawweight, Amorim versus Mizuki. Amorim, she lost her debut against Sam Hughes. That is not a bad loss at all. Sam Hughes is pretty good. Amorim later on is on a 4-fight winning streak, all by finish. One of them by ground and pound and the other by submission. She mauls her opponents. Even in the Sam Hughes fight, she was out wrestling Sam Hughes in the first round. And then in the second round, I think she gassed and she got out wrestled by Sam Hughes and in the third round as well. So not a bad loss at all, but she's on a crazy good win streak. Mizuki, she hasn't fought in since 2 years. And since then, she's 1-2. I mean, she's 2-1 in the UFC. So she gets 2 wins in the UFC at least. But they're not anywhere good level of competition type of wins. So Mizuki herself is not looking that great, even in her fights 2 years ago. So it is not looking too great for Mizuki. And because she's also inactive, they're literally feeding Mizuki to Amorim, basically what I'm trying to say. I don't know what they're doing that. Maybe my guess is Amorim is looking very dominant, that a lot of WMMA fighters don't want to take the Amorim fight at all. They're refuse to take it. And Mizuki, she has that Japanese pride. She's like, you know what? I'm going to do this for my country. I'm going to take this fight, winning or losing. So maybe that's my guess, probably. But yeah, Amorim is going to submit her in the first round. She's going to submit Mizuki in the first round pretty easily. So there you go. I got Amorim first round submission. Next up, Alex Maksum versus Mitch Raposo. They're both not doing too good in the UFC. Alex is 1-2 in the UFC, or Mitch is 0-2. But one resume is looking way more better than the other resume, because Alex Maksum, he fought Tyson Nam, straight up dominated Tyson Nam in the striking, beat him, and then after that he fights Charles Johnson, and he was dropping Charles Johnson left and right in the first round, and then in the second round comes, he dropped him once. But Charles Johnson was able to pick it back up, and Charles Johnson has very good power and very good striking. He literally KO'd, what's his name? Why did I forget his name? Joshua Van. He KO'd him. That's his, Joshua Van's only loss is to Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson is very good, and he can become a very good, fighter in the future. Fight for a belt soon, maybe. He still has a couple fights in the rankings to go. But anyway, that's not a bad loss at all. He was doing really good in the fight against Charles Johnson, Alex Maksum. And in the Tagir fight, he was doing a very good job in the Tagir fight. I actually had Maksum winning that fight, but they gave it to Tagir. Oh well. Raposo, he lost to, I forgot his name, Andre Lima. That is not a bad loss at all for the moment. Andre Lima is still undefeated. And then he lost to someone else, I forgot who. That is not a bad loss at all. So, but funny enough, they both kind of fight similarly as they both switch stance. It says southpaw for Maksum, but he switch stance a lot. When they both circle, they switch stance. When they go forward, they switch stance. But I would say Maksum has the cleaner striking, and he is more rangier, and he's shown to have very good accuracy and power. He was dropping Charles Johnson, like I said. I'm gonna give it to Maksum, especially I don't think Raposo has better grappling than Tagir Ulanbekov. Highly doubt it. So I do think Maksum, getting past a Charles Johnson, getting past showing his very good moments against Charles Johnson, very good moments against Tagir. I don't see Mitch Raposo, showing any threat to Maksum. So I think this is gonna be a very easy fight for Maksum. I do have him third round finish, submission or ground and pound. I have Maksum winning, third round finish. Next up at heavyweight, Hamdi Baba Ganoush Abdelwahab versus Chris Barnett. Now, I don't know if his nickname is Baba Ganoush, but Loki showed me. He literally looks like a Baba Ganoush. Anyways, Hamdi, he won his first fight, tested positive for roids. And then later on, I forgot who else he fought. And his last fight, he lost to Muhammad Usman. So that's not looking very great for Hamdi, losing to Muhammad Usman. And Chris Barnett, he was very inactive. He lost to Martin Bade, and he lost to Kenny Zuchuku, but he's been getting a couple good wins. I think he also lost his debut fight against I forgot who, but he got submitted in that fight, so it wasn't on the feet. Supposedly Hamdi has good wrestling. We haven't really seen it in the UFC yet, so I don't know. Chris Barnett, Hamdi, I think there's a closer fight than the odds are saying. There's a much closer fight, but I'm guessing they're leaning to Hamdi because he's okay. Chris Barnett is okay, but Hamdi is at least being active, and Chris Barnett is super inactive. So I'm guessing that's why they're leaning towards Hamdi on this one. But I'm actually gonna go with Chris Barnett because I like Chris Barnett. Look at him. He's very cool. He literally is Kung Fu Panda. Last spinning head kick was amazing. I love that moment of Chris Barnett. I'm gonna go with Chris Barnett because of bias. I'm gonna biasly pick Chris Barnett. The only biased pick of the night, basically. Decision win for Chris Barnett. For the weight, we got Nathaniel Wood versus Jose Delgado. This is a very good fight. Nathaniel Wood, he's on a pretty good win streak. I take that back. He did lose to Muhammad Naimov, but that fight was very weird because Muhammad, he missed weight, and then in the fight he was nut-shotting Wood and also was glove grabbing him. So Nathaniel Wood was looking really good. He was defending and he was doing pretty decent in the grappling against Muhammad. A much heavier Muhammad, and was out and dropped Muhammad as well. He dropped him in the first round. So Wood, also in his Morgan Charrier and I forgot who else, he's looking very good. His timing, his counters, he's dropping dudes left and right. He isn't finishing them though. He doesn't really have that KO power. He's just more accurate and quick as to why he's dropping these opponents. But he's still very good. He struggles to finish them on the ground. He drops them. He doesn't really submit them or ground upon them. But he's still very good. His timing is phenomenal. His grappling is very good. Jose Delgado is on a 5 KO winning streak. He's only 2 fights in the UFC. He finished, I forgot who, but he also KO'd Haider Emil. I don't remember that KO, that fight. He dropped him with the knee. He's looking dangerous, but I don't think he's that good. I think it's just I literally do think that the odds makers literally looked at Delgado's resume and say, 5 KO winning streak? Oh, he must be good. He's only 2 fights in the UFC though, and he KO'd Haider Emil. He must be very. I don't see. He's not that good. I generally do think Nathaniel Wood is gonna beat him. He's gonna outspeed him, outstrike him, out-time him. Jose Delgado, he's on a 5 KO winning streak, but it's like against who? Nathaniel Wood had a very close fight against a Muhammad Naimov who was cheating a lot in that fight. So I do have Nathaniel Wood beating Delgado by decision. I don't see him finishing Delgado, but I do have Nathaniel Wood beating Delgado pretty nicely. I don't see Delgado even dropping Wood. Maybe he drops him once, but I don't see him KOing Wood. If he does, that's pretty crazy, but I do have Nathaniel Wood beating Delgado. I don't think Delgado is that great. His grappling is pretty good, but I don't think it's enough to beat Wood. Maybe he laser and praise, but I'm pretty sure he's going to want to strike, so and he's going to get dropped. I do see Wood dropping Delgado. So I got Wood by decision. Final answer, yes. Lightweight, Al-Selwady versus Camilo. They were both 1-0 in the UFC. They both lost their debuts. I mean, Al-Selwady has pretty good grappling, but his striking is not that good. His literally, you see his fight, all he does is duck and throw an overhand. Duck, overhand. And that's all he does. His striking is looking very garbage, and that's why he got KO'd. I forgot who he was fighting, but he got KO'd in the 3rd round. And Camilo, at least he was looking pretty good in his fight. He was looking pretty decent. Granted, his striking is kind of one-dimensional in the sense of he only throws one shot and it's like full power one shots. He doesn't like set up his punches, or he doesn't really like throw it with like timing and accuracy and predicting where they're gonna move. Like the opponent's right there, I'm gonna throw right there, and misses because his opponent moves. And so he looks better. He has better striking, more I would say relatively to Selwady. He has more of a bigger tool bag. But he needs to calm down and you literally start thinking in his fights, because he's literally just going forward and punching, and that's it. Like, he's not really setting it up for anything. His grappling was looking decent. He was out wrestling his opponent as well, and then he got submitted. It was a mistake on his end, on Camilo's end. I want to say it was because he was bad or anything. So for that, I'm gonna go with Camilo winning against Zahawi, because Camilo was actually looking pretty decent in his fight. And Zahawi was looking kind of bad in his fight. He was getting, tagged a bunch in his fight, and he got KO'd. So I'm gonna go with Camilo winning against Zawali. I'm guessing they're probably gonna cut Zawali, or whoever the loser of this fight. If I get this wrong, whoever loses, they're probably gonna cut him. But yeah, Camilo. I got Camilo. Even odds, but I do got Camilo. Next up, we got a beer matchup when it comes to visually. They're both balding Europeans. They're both 5'7". They both look the same. It's going to be hard to tell who's who and when they're fighting. But anyways, Klein, he is primarily a striker, very clean striker. Southpaw, like I said, southpaw. His grappling is very good. His anti-grappling. He was able to stuff some of Gamrot's takedowns, so that's very impressive. But he still lost that fight. And he was getting outstruck by Gamrot because of the takedown threat. I don't know why I was thinking a lot to come up with that. Anyways, he was getting outstruck by Gamrot because of the takedown threat. But the thing is, it's whatever. I mean, he's still very good. A little bit kind of still pretty good, but like, there's some moments where he's like, it's like, hey, like, why are you losing to that guy? But a little bit kind of still very good. He lost to Gamrot. That's not a bad loss at all. So, granted, he was on a pretty good winning streak before the Gamrot fight. And he did take it on short notice. If you don't remember, that was a replacement for like a WMA main event. I forgot who. But yeah, it's not a bad loss at all. And Mattel Rebecki, he is exciting to watch. If you don't remember, he fought Meditek Orobai and Chris Duncan. Those were amazing fights. I was having so much fun watching those. His wrestling, he is primarily a wrestler, Mattel Rebecki, but he loves to brawl. And that's what we love to see, just straight up, standing bangs. The thing is, he has really good power as well. So, and he was out striking Meditek Orbai. So, even though he lost to Chris Duncan and Meditek Orbai, they're not bad performances at all. They're pretty decent. And I do think this is gonna be an issue for Ludwig Klein, because Ludwig Klein, he loves to be a clean striker, and Mattel is going to be initiating the grappling, and Ludwig Klein defends his takedowns. That's still going to be an issue because he's not gonna be thinking about those takedowns. And Rebecki has pretty good grappling, so it's not like a little bit Klein is gonna be like, oh, I can just stuff these easily and just keep it on the feet. But Rebecki is gonna be, gonna be kind of pressuring a little bit Klein in that. So he's gonna be thinking about it. It's the same way he's gonna be thinking about Gamrot. And I do think there's gonna be a similar fight against Gamrot where Mateusz Rebecki is gonna be pressuring a little bit Klein in the striking with the takedown threat. And because it's Mateusz Rebecki, he's a brawler and he has power. He's gonna start beating up a little bit Klein pretty badly. I do see it. There's gonna be a close fight, but I do think we're gonna get another brawl. Mateusz Rebecki is gonna bring it on to Little Klein, and because Little Klein loves to keep it clean, is gonna throw his flow off. And I got Mateusz Rebecki winning by a close decision, 3-round decision win. So I got Mateusz Rebecki winning this fight. I don't see Little Klein sniping Mateusz Rebecki and keeping it at range. I don't think so. They're both the same height, reach. He has slightly. Actually, never mind. He actually has pretty much longer reach. But I still do think the way Mateusz Rebecki goes forward, I don't think he's gonna be able to just keep it at range. So I got Mateusz Rebecki decision win. Middleweight, Ikram Aliskerov versus the Iron Turtle. I don't know his first name, Park. Those are a very good fight when it comes to a great performance for Ikram Aliskerov. Now, Ikram Aliskerov is very good. We all know that. I'm pretty sure you know that by now. Ikram Aliskerov was able to defend Khamzat's takedowns in their fight when they fought like a while ago. He defended it pretty nicely, but then he got KO'd. So I guess not too great of a performance. But either way, he's in the UFC. Good winning streak. He was going to fight Andre Lima. Andre Lima pulled out. He got a different opponent. And then he weight cut for that fight the day before. And he weight cut. He rebooks against Robert Whittaker. Now, that is a mistake on his end. Deciding to fight Robert Whittaker after Khamzat pulls out of their fight. Was it Khamzat or Paulo Costa? I don't remember. One of those two pulled out of the Robert Whittaker fight. And Ikram stepped in. And he weight cut again. He weight cut a second time. That was so stupid of Ikram, to be honest, of him deciding, I'm not going to fight this guy. I'm going to fight Robert Whittaker. A huge step up in competition, but not just that. I'm going to weight cut twice. So that was, yes, on one end, you can defend that loss by saying he weight cut twice, and that was a huge step up. But that was a mistake on his end. He should have just said, I'm not going to take that fight. I'm going to fight the dude I'm going to fight. By the way, he fought someone else after that, and then he fought Andre Lima again and destroyed Andre Lima. So he's on a good winning streak back again. He's two winning fights after losing to Robert Whittaker. So it clearly, Aliskerov is not bad. And Union Park, he's also on a winning streak. He lost to Andre Lima. Just don't forget that he lost to Andre Lima. I forgot who he beat after that. I think it was Brad Tavares and someone else. But those are not Ikram Aliskerov. Ikram Aliskerov is much better than Brad Tavares, much better than these guys. And he has good anti-grappling. He literally defended Khamzat's takedowns. Yes, it was a while ago, but it's still Khamzat. Khamzat still... it's hard to imagine someone defending Khamzat's takedowns aside Usman. I don't remember the Burns fight exactly, but yes, Ikram, it's going to be an easy fight for Ikram. I do think so. I don't think Jungyoung Park has better grappling than Khamzat. That's just saying that is crazy. But anyways, and I do think Ikram is a much better striker than Jungyoung Park. I don't know how good his offensive grappling is, Ikram's offensive grappling. But if he mixes it in, he's going to beat Jungyoung Park. I do have a second round finish for Ikram Aliskerov. I do think he's going to finish him. Second round finish, submission or ground and pound. I'm going to go with ground and pound. Second round finish, ground and pound for Ikram Aliskerov. Next up, the first fight of the main card. What's his name? Alexander Rakic. That is his first name, right? Who the heck is this guy? That does not look like him. Alexander Rakic. That's such a funny picture. Anyways, versus Azamat Murzakanov. Anyways, those are a very good fight. I love this fight. Good at matchmaking. Alexander Rakic, he is on a 3-fight losing streak, but he's only losing to champs. He lost to Jan, who was a champ before he fought Rakic. He lost to Yuri, who was a champ before he fought Rakic, and then he fought who was the name? Ankalaev, who became champ after he fought Rakic. So 3 champs, very good. He was actually beating what's his name? John Blachowicz in their fight. He was actually beating him up until the leg injury. He was literally beating Jan, a prime Jan who was champ, who was on a huge winning streak, lost to Glover, and then was losing to Rakic. And Rakic was going to win that fight up until the leg injury. So that is very impressive. Then he fights Yuri. Once again, he's looking very impressive. He is a physical specimen also. Like he's huge, very quick leg kicks, very quick jabs. He's very good. It's just he's just fighting these demons at light heavyweight. He fought Yuri. Yuri once again Yuri'd all over Rakic, and you know his chin became just straight up diamond, and put a beating on Rakic basically, and KO'd him in the second round. He didn't really KO him. It was more like you dropped him and started ground and pounding. But yeah. And then next up, his best performance in the losing streak is the what's his name? Ankalaev. That was not a bad fight. He had some good moments in the boxing against Ankalaev. He was clipping Ankalaev a couple times in their fight, but that fight was very inactive. There wasn't really too much action in that fight, so it's not. I mean, you can kind of give it to Rakic as well. Even in these few moments they were fighting, Rakic had some decent moments, so that's actually pretty good. And Magomed is not a bad striker at all. He's a very good striker, very good boxer, and that's actually you can get. I'm just trying to be positive against Alexander Rakic because the 3-0 streak he's doing is not. I mean, it's not bad at all. And now we're going to Murzakanov. He is looking like a straight up another demon, and probably another future champ could be. He's like a mix between DC and Ankalaev actually, because he's 5'10" and has that DC build. He's just short, a little bit fat, and like huge arms. But also he's a southpaw, a boxer like Ankalaev. Ankalaev is a southpaw boxer. This is actually an interesting fight because Rakic is huge, Murzakanov is short. Murzakanov has a good look. Also the thing about his KOs, he doesn't really. I mean, he hits hard, but it's more of his speed and his accuracy. Because when he lands, he purposely targets the liver, and his the way he throws his hooks perfectly land on the chin. So I want to say it's more of him having power, but more of him being speed, really quick and having high accuracy, kind of like an Ilia Topuria basically, where Ilia Topuria I want to say he's a huge hard hitter, but he has very quick speed and very good accuracy, where he's just dropping Volkanovski, dropping Max left and right. So yeah, that was a really good fight. Kind of close. I would say that they both stylistically counter each other because Rakic, he struggles with very good counter boxing, and Murzakanov has that good boxing. But at the same time, and also Rakic, he fights in a straight line. He's really good going forward and back, so he can get countered going back against a Murzakanov. And also, on the other hand, Rakic is like I said, he's a physical specimen where he's really quick. He can match Murzakanov in speed, basically what I'm trying to say. He can match him in speed, very nasty leg kicks of his own, and if he's healthy, he's perfectly healthy, not injured at all, he could actually beat Murzakanov just by outstriking him much longer. He's gonna chop out those legs. We really haven't seen Murzakanov get his legs chopped at all, and Rakic loves chopping at those legs. So we really don't know how that fight is gonna go. If Rakic is motivated and healthy, he's dangerous. A healthy, motivated Rakic. He was beating Jan, like I said. He was beating Jan. That was the last time we've seen a healthy, motivated Rakic. He's gonna be Murzakanov. I do think Rakic is gonna be Murzakanov. I do think there's gonna be a Murzakanov's cutoff when it comes to his winning streak. And he's kind of short, so it's gonna be kind of hard for him to reach a Rakic up. He's gonna be landing the liver punches. He does do that a lot. Just watch him. But I do think Rakic is too quick that he's gonna match Murzakanov in speed. Match him in speed. be much bigger, chop at those legs, use that jab against Murzakanov. Murzakanov doesn't really have the amazing head movement. Like, he's not, like, his boxing, his hands are good. His movement is kind of eh. So I got Rakic beating Murzakanov to a decision. He's going to break him down. I'm going to see he's going to have a really good first round against Murzakanov. Or he's going to be like a 50-50 round against Murzakanov and then have a really good round in the second and the third. So I got Rakic beating Murzakanov, a decision win. Heavyweight Alexander Volkov versus Jilton Almeida. Volkov has been done very dirty. Very, very dirty. Because his last fight before the Ciryl Gane fight, he lost to Tom Aspinall. Goes on a huge winning streak. He's only one fight away from a title fight, which is Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane is the guy he needs to get past. Beats him. And guess what? We could have had a Tom Aspinall Volkov rematch title fight. And it would have been a huge narrative. It was like, oh, Volkov, he came back from, he lost to the champ. He goes on a huge winning streak. He beat Ciryl Gane, the guy who fought for the title twice against Ngannou and John Jones. He beat Ciryl Gane, and now he's claiming to regain his loss back from Aspinall. That would have been a huge narrative. And then these gay little judges gave it to Ciryl Gane because it was in France. Yeah, okay. Anyways, Volkov should have won that fight. He didn't. He beat Ciryl Gane. And when I say he's been done dirty, not only did he get robbed against Gane and didn't get that title fight, they gave him Jilton Almeida. Jilton Almeida. Hamzat heavyweight. Jeez, they did him so dirty giving him Almeida. Almeida does deserve a title shot soon as well, so, kind of makes sense. They have to give him a Jilton Almeida. I don't know who else at heavyweight right now there is for Volkov. But yeah, if I was the UFC, I would have given Ciryl Gane Almeida, and I would say, Volkov, Dana White literally said, what, we got you, and they gave him Jilton Almeida. Like, what is that? When Dana White was saying, I got you, he should have just given him the title shot, given Volkov the title shot, and given Ciryl Gane Jilton Almeida. But we don't live in a perfect world, so we got this. Alexander Volkov, even in the Ciryl Gane fight, even though he won, he was getting taken down by Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane has improved a lot as well. So, not to discredit Volkov that much, but he did get taken down by Ciryl Gane. And now he's facing heavyweight Hamzat. He's going to get taken down, and realistically, he's going to get submitted in the first or second round, if not third round. But Jilton Almeida, he's going to submit Volkov. Jilton Almeida only gone to decision once when it comes to his wins. Yes, he has a couple of losses. But when it comes to his wins, he only went to decision once, and that was against Derek Lewis. And Derek Lewis somehow wasn't able to get submitted at all. He was getting just straight up dominated in the grappling, but I don't know how Jilton Almeida wasn't able to submit Derek Lewis. But anyways, Jilton Almeida realistically is going to be Volkov. It's sad, but I do think so. I already used my bias pick for Chris Barnett as well, so I can't be biased against Volkov. I don't want to be too wrong. And, put too my eggs on. I don't want to be, biased too much. So, I'm going to go with Jilton Almeida. Logically, he should win, and it's sad. But, yeah. Next up, bantamweight Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Bautista. This is the best fight of the night, we're going to be honest. This is such a good fight. This is actually a very even fight. If you look at it, I remember when this first got announced, I was thinking, this is like a 60-40 fight. 60 for Umar, 40 for Mario. But looking back at it, at their fights, their film study, it's actually much closer. I would say there's like a 55-45. It's much closer. Now, I'm still leaning to Umar, but Mario and that Jose Aldo fight, if you look at it, it wasn't even as bad as people make it out to seem. Mario Bautista was at moments outstriking Jose Aldo and was doing really good in the striking. I don't think Umar has better striking than, has if not similar striking to a Jose Aldo, basically like a same level. And the thing is, Jose Aldo in that fight, yes, Mario Bautista was holding him up against the clinch and trying to take him down. He was trying to take him down. That's what he does sometimes in his fights. I forgot who he did it to. But sometimes multiple fights, he pushes him up against the cage and takes him down. That's the way he does. He was trying to do that to Jose Aldo, But Jose Aldo has... Do people forget Jose Aldo has amazing takedown defense? Jose Aldo literally defended all of 16 Merab's takedowns. All of 16 of them. And he's like number 8 right now when it comes to like highest takedown defense accuracy. Jose Aldo, like people forget about that and just straight up say, oh, Mario, we gotta hate Mario Bautista. I don't really like Mario Bautista, but there's no reason to really hate him because of that. But yeah, that was a really good performance on Mario Bautista's end. We're gonna be like not angry about it. But yeah, Umar Nurmagomedov, he was looking very good against Corey Sandhagen. That was a good fight. He did lose like the first round, I think. It was a close round, but I think he did lose the first round. There was a 3-rounder, so that leans to Mario as well. Like this is not gonna be a 5-rounder, so Umar is not gonna have the 5-rounder advantage. He did go 5 rounds with Merab as well. Shoot, and the thing is, this is such a weird one because I do think Umar is also gonna get his takedown stuffed by Jose Aldo. This is such a close one as well. The striking is very close. They're both very similar, like when it comes to like skill level and striking. Mario Bautista is, on the rise right now, so it's not like we can really gauge him at this level. Umar beat Corey. Well, they didn't really finish him, but he beat him. Lost to Merab. Mario Bautista can literally beat Corey as well in similar fashion. And I don't know if in a 5-rounder, but in the 3-rounder he can beat Corey in a similar fashion. I do think Merab beats Merab. I beat Mario. Merab beats everybody basically. But anyways, this is such a close one. I don't know, but I'm gonna just for logically, I'm gonna go with Umar because this is such a close fight. The odds are crazy. 650. Are you kidding me? Anyways, basically what I'm trying to say is Mario wins, I would not be surprised. If Mario wins, I would not be surprised in a 3-rounder. If Umar wins, I'm gonna go with Umar for logically and to play it safe. I'm gonna go with Umar. He's gonna win like 2 rounds. He's probably gonna lose the first round and then win the first and then win the second and third round. So I'm gonna go with Umar. Decision win. I don't see one of them finishing each other. Close fight, very close fight. Odds inaccurate, but yes. Now Barnett Jandiroba versus what's her name? Mackenzie Dern, right? Mackenzie Dern. I almost forgot. What I don't get the odds on this one because not only is Verna Jandiroba, let me just show you why this does not make sense. This is just to show you visually, not to me to say it, but just to show you visually. Let's go with Mackenzie Dern. She lost to Amanda Lemos, lost to her, beat I don't remember number 10 at the time, Lupi Godinez, number 8 at the time, Amanda Ribas. So good wins, but these are number 10 and number 8 at the time when she fought them. Lost to Amanda Lemos, remember that. Now we go to Verna Jandiroba. Yes, I am looking at resumes rather than looking at them visually, but Verna Jandiroba is really good, so there's no point in that. She beat Lupi Godinez. She beat Amanda Lemos, who beat Mackenzie Dern, and she beat Yan Zhenan, who was number 1 at the time, who lost to Weili Zhang. She beat the number 1, and now Verna is number 1 right now. Why is she the underdog? Like Verna is very good. Like you can say, oh, stylistically, Mackenzie Dern is has the upper hand. No. Verna Jandiroba is very good, and her resume is much better. And like comparing them, it makes no sense. So why is she the underdog? I'm going with Jandiroba, 3-round decision win or finish. I don't get this matchmaking, the odds makers on this decision. But yeah, I got Verna Jandiroba. Now, actually, let me take that back. We're now at Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane for the heavyweight title fight of the main event. If there's a reason why the odds makers are doing weird decisions, it's probably this fight, because I do agree with -400, +300. I do think this is accurate. Now, I really didn't do film study for this, and there's 2 reasons why. Yes, Ciryl Gane is very good, but he's also been inactive. Stylistically, he does have a way to beat a Tom Aspinall. He's very quick. He probably matches Tom Aspinall in speed at the heavyweight division. Very good leg kicks, or side kicks more like and very good jab. And Tom Aspinall You know, he gets jabbed a lot in his fights. He got hit by Ciryl. He got hit by Curtis Blades in his fights before he, you know, sent him to the shadow realm. He does get clipped before he lands the KO shot. And Ciryl Gane could keep his distance, could keep range, and chip down a Tom Aspinall. Like, that's very possible. But Jon Jones, he did the film study for us. He saw Ciryl Gane, said, very winnable fight, fought him, took him down, submitted him. He did film study for Tom Aspinall, didn't take it. Jon Jones, I do think he's one of the smartest fighters out there alive, inside and outside of the octagon. Inside, he's very smart. Very questionable performances, but he's still very smart. Outside the cage, he's very calculated. He loves his film study. There's a reason why Tom Aspinall hasn't gone to a third round. Ciryl Gane could push him to the third round, but Tom Aspinall, he has a very scary quote where he says, "It's an issue for me not to." I don't remember the exact quote. Let me find the exact quote. Now, I couldn't find the image, but basically, Tom Aspinall said, "Oh, what happens when someone takes him to the third round in deep waters?" Well, Tom Aspinall says, "Well, there's nobody good enough to take me to the third round yet, to deep waters." And I don't think Ciryl Gane is that good enough to even take him to the third round. So yeah, like I said, Jon Jones, there's a reason he didn't take the Aspinall fight. He did the film study for us, for the MMA YouTubers. There's no need to do film study on this. And yes, you can say stylistically Gane could be Aspinall, but I do think Aspinall, just his boxing. And Ciryl Gane also got dropped by Taito Iwasa. Like, come on, you really think Aspinall's not gonna be able to drop Gane and then finish him on the ground? Like, come on, no. I do think Aspinall beats Gane. There's no way he loses. There's no way. I mean, listen, we are seeing a new wave of dominant champs. Pantoja, Merab, Ilya, Khamzat, Alex Pereira. I mean, Alex Pereira lost once, but anyways, we are twice, but anyways, he's looking very. We're seeing a new wave of dominant champs, and Tom Aspinall is part of the lineup of these dominant champs. Welterweight is very competitive right now, so it's kind of hard to say JDM. The JDM Islam fight, that one's very good as well, so hard to say that one as well. And Volkanovski, I mean, he did beat Diego Lopez, so I guess you can put him as well in the lineup. We're seeing a new wave of UFC fighters that become champ and are just straight up levels above the rest of the guys. Ciryl Gane lost to Ngannou. That was a close fight. I guess if you're scoring that fight, the Ngannou fight as damage, Gane won. If you're talking about overall MMA, skill set, like dominance, Ngannou won. Depends on how you score it. Ciryl Gane and Ngannou won. Anyways, there's no way Aspinall loses to Gane. Jones did the film study for us, like I said. We're gonna see Aspinall win this weekend. We're gonna see him and still for Aspinall. So those are my picks for Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane, Cord in Abu Dhabi. Oh yeah, getting back to the Umar fight, it's taking place in Abu Dhabi. They're gonna give it to Umar. It comes to a close decision. Khabib, he has that influence over there. So yeah, all in the religion. But anyways, Aspinall's gonna win against Ciryl Gane. Those are my picks. So there you go. Those are my picks. Hope you guys like and subscribe. If you see and come this far, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.